most dudes don't truly care about your past unless it's affecting this right here.
Right now. Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people? How y'all doing?
You couldn't let the process be the process. And that's the frustrating part about it, is that's when that broken person goes to another person
And
creates another broken person.
Welcome to another episode of Something for the People. This is your boy B Hunt, aka the Silent Prophet, along with my co-host Big Country.
What's good, people?
And for your viewing pleasure, we have the lovely
Heavenly High.
This is Jeffrey. Y'all want to we can do that. Paternity test case is going too far, with men being the dad by default. How do we feel about that? So default daddies.
So, my issue with this is, don't get me wrong. I believe a man should stand up and take responsibility for what he's supposed to. But for you to sit here and tell me I'm the default daddy is a big issue for me. And what default daddy is basically, if I'm married to someone and to my wife, and my wife goes out and cheats on me and she gets pregnant, I'm the daddy by default. And there's been cases coming up where they're like, oh, well, I have to pay child support for a child that's not even mine. And the reason is because I married her. So just because she decided to go out and be a hoe at that point in time and get pregnant, I gotta be the daddy.
Yeah. So, because a lot of them cases, how they show it anyway, you the dad, and, we didn't get the paternity test right away. So, we under the assumption, like, you the dad because you married to her, and technically she should be laying with you most time.
Now, and
So
yes.
It's only cheating?
So, it depends on what state you're in. In certain states, if I'm married, let's say I'm married to you, and you decide you want to creep around, you get pregnant by somebody else. They're going to say, I'm the father because I was married to you. And my issue with that is, but if the dude went out and knocked somebody else off and had a baby, you're not going to be considered the mother just off default. That other lady is going to be considered the mother. So what we're doing is taking the accountability for everyone and saying, you know what? No, we're not going to give it to the person it deserves. But just because you said I do, like, don't get me wrong. I understand the vow for richer, for poor, for sickness and health, through the good times and the bad times, till death do us part, all that kind of stuff. But you're not going to sit here and tell me the dude that you got knocked up with, because obviously you don't wear no condom. So you're saying it's okay. Okay, don't get me wrong. In marriage, I know everything's not perfect, but for you to sit there and say, I'm the daddy because you decide you want to go buck wild, not wear no protection, no plan B, no nothing. I gotta be the dad. I gotta be held responsible. That's where I have an issue with it. Because I'm like, no, the two people that had that child,
Right,
that conceived that child, should be held responsible.
I agree with you 100%. My thing is, if I don't know, and then also, what Texas got that law where if you don't do it by a certain amount of time, that no matter what you do, you're going to be paying for that kid anyway. Because it's like people literally owe back child support for kids that's not theirs, and they find out after the fact, and they like, well, if the paternity test proves that I'm not the father, how can you sit here and take me to court and then still expect me to pay back child support on something that I didn't do? It's not my fault, right?
And
Like, I feel like if it was understood in the forefront, that's better. Like, I mean, from a perspective of a man deciding to be with a woman who already has kids.
Yes, that's different because you
That's
already
different.
knew.
But this one is, even then, I don't even know how that works. Like, I don't know. I don't think that the stepdad pays for that child support. I think that the dad still does.
According to
But
law.
maybe it changes once they get married. In my situation, it wasn't like that. But I just think that, like, the whole default thing is kind of messed up. Like, you need some proof. Like, you need the DNA. Because that's not it's not his responsibility fully. But then marriage is so thick. Like,
see, that's where I have an issue with it because I'm like, if we had it like, I think there should be mandatory. I don't care if both of us agree when we have a baby that, oh, we ain't gonna get a DNA test. I think by law, since they want to make everything else, oh, the government decides this, by law, just so we could get this understood, why not, hey, when the baby comes out, no matter what, you're getting a DNA test, I'm getting a DNA test, we're going to find out right now so there's no complications. Because that would end all of it. But it seems like everybody's like, oh no, that's so wrong because what if she's not cheating? Then she shouldn't mind. That's like if you say, hey, Jeremy shot somebody. Bro, you can test me right now. You put me on a lie detector test. I know I ain't shoot nobody. Right. So I'm not worried about you lie detecting test me or you trying to find somebody because there's not going to be anyone that finds me guilty because I didn't do it. Now, if you did do it, or if you are being, like, I'm not saying that you, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, no matter what, there are not cases of people being unfaithful. I'm not saying that. But for you to be unfaithful enough to bring home a child, whether it's a man or a woman, for you to say, hey, I'm going to interrupt our entire household with another child that is not yours, that is very selfish of me. And now you're saying, oh, you should take responsibility because we're married? That's going to make me say, well, maybe we don't need to be married.
Right. My question to you would be, what about those people who had, marriages, open marriages, right? Like, at this point...
Even in open marriages, because I understand what you're talking about. Even in open marriages, there are rules. Like, please don't understand, if you are polygamous, if you are, what is it, ENM, which is ethically non-monogamous, there's all different types of things. The idea is there are still rules. Yes, I like knowing stuff. I told you, because earlier he was like, man, you are very, I want to start questioning you about trivia. I'm like, I'm very good when it comes to all that because I like to know everything.
This is what happened. His mom said, this is the clues. It's a light-skinned guy. He plays the piano. What's his name?
No, she said it's a light-skinned guy who plays the piano, and his wife's name is Christy something. I was like, oh, John Legend. And he was looking at me like, how you know that? I'm like, how many light-skinned dudes you know play the piano, for one? Then for two, the wife's name, Christy. Thank you. Right there, that quick. So, but
so much for me.
My thing when it comes back to the subject is there are always rules. You can't be like, oh, well, because we're in open marriage, oh, anything goes. That's not how it goes, or open relationship or anything like that. How it goes, we set forth these rules. You have rules, I have rules. If we're stepping out on each other, you can't be going raw dogging people. That's not even, most polygamous relationships, that don't happen. Then on top of that, even if you do that, you have to be on some form of birth control because of the fact that we don't want nothing disrupting our household. Some people agree with it, some people disagree with it. That's you and your household and what you decide to do. But my thing is, when you introduce a whole nother life into this household that isn't mine, like, of course, you know if it's yours or it's not yours. But I would say the same thing if it was a dude on the outside, he done knocked up a woman and he done got her pregnant, brought a child back. Bro, why you messing up your household? You knew what the rules are. Every marriage, every relationship has its rules. You decided you're going to push the rules away, and now I'm the default daddy because you're like, oh, well, I mean, you should accept it.
I can't agree. I think we all are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
It is messed up to look at that person and be like, can you please take full responsibility for this situation? Because no kid is a mistake, but they have to be taken care of, or the state and wherever you are is going to take them.
Yes.
So you better have a plan or a partner who is strong enough to want to
like more power to those that can do it. I don't think I could come up to my wife and be like, hey, by the way, I know you said it was cool for me to do this, but by the way, I got this little one right now that we got to deal with for 18 years. I would expect my wife to leave me. But I ain't got to worry about that because I got that taken care of. But anyways, it's still the fact that I'm like, I wouldn't want to do that to my wife, but I definitely wouldn't want my wife to do that to me.
Right.
Like, oh, well, you know, I know you love like I told my wife, and my wife in the other room right now, she can admit to it. I'm like, if you come up pregnant, two ways this is going to go. Either A, I'm going to see a lawyer, or B, I'm still going to see a lawyer to sue the doctor. Somebody's coming up also. Either, no, we can't do that. Oh, the baby, it was an accident. No, because you have Plan B, you have birth control, you had condoms, you have all this other stuff, but yet you bypassed all that and was like, but I love you. The hell with your love.
That's tough. I don't know. Like I said, show up at my house with anybody who ain't literally a hunter. I'm hunting for a lawyer. I don't have to deal with this. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
This is not gonna work. I need to get that situation fixed too. I keep putting it on the back burner, but
$30. $30 and don't even take 24 hours.
$30 and 24 hours. That's wild. That's a slow. See, first of all, they need to holler at you to be like a spokesperson.
Hey, I would, man, if they could pay me for it. If you don't know, we talking about vasectomies because my little brother is the one that got me on it. Like, because at first I was like, no, but he was like, bruh, there's no difference, no change. It's the same thing except you don't have to worry about kids. After I had my second child, I'm like, I love my children to death. I don't want no more. Me and my wife agreed on it. We good. Ain't got nothing to worry about there. So like I said, either I'm hunting for a lawyer or I'm still hunting for a lawyer to sue a doctor. Just all depends on which lawyer I'm looking for.
What's the one I need?
Yeah.
I know I need one. I just don't know which one.
I'm like, there's a lot of things I could forgive, but you coming back with the child? Like, no.
Well, like I said, I commend all those.
Yeah.
So, is that the question now? I don't think we're asking them for forgiveness.
Oh, yeah. We're trying to figure out. Yeah. I just, to her point, I don't feel like this would be default policy. Like you said, I agree. Your solution, mandatory paternity test, you want to just lump that in with the whole, birth. Hey, I don't mind giving you $500-$600 on top of, hey.
You're already charging me an arm and a leg for the baby.
Baby already out. It's like, it costs me. It's money. Hey, just so you know, you probably don't want to pay that extra $3,000, $4,000. Why? Because that ain't yours, player. Got you. Let me cover this $5,000. Thank you, Doc. I'm going to get up out of here. I'm going to just be on my way. And, there's going to be a real awkward situation when I walk back into the operating room and she holding the baby and I'm just packing, not saying nothing. It's like, what you do? Don't worry about it.
But let's say, that the lady wasn't, being mischievous.
Are we talking about assault?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, that's the only way I'll be like, okay.
See,
as a husband, it's got to be either him or the state. Somebody gonna have to take care of that kid.
See,
at the end of the day. So that's the only way.
I'm gonna let you hit this.
So me and him got mixed feelings on this. Granted, I do believe, I'm like, hey, we at an impasse because one, if I didn't want to see the child you had with another man, right, in my house, now I gotta look at the kid and then I'm thinking about what took place and I'm just like, now it's even worse. So I'm like, I ain't gonna tell you go get rid of the child, nothing like that, because I believe a life's a life. Regardless, though, be like, I'm gonna look. We can go find an adoption age, something. We can find something.
That right there, I would agree with.
I will literally pay. You can go see the kid, everything. Like, you don't have to limit what you do with the kid. Do that, because that's really your kid. But as far as me, because of the circumstances, I'd be like, look, I'll throw some money at it, but I can't because I'm going to keep replaying that in my mind and they can put me behind bars. And I don't want to be that guy.
Mm-hmm. That's very true.
Like, when at first I was like, nah, I can't handle it. But I'm like, when I finished hearing his entirety of it, because I'm sorry, I know the world has this, well, it's not that child's fault. Yes, it's not that child's fault. But it's not my fault neither. Now, what I'm saying is, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you have to be like, oh, you have to get rid of it. But little so-and-so is not going to be walking around my house every day, and every day I have the image and replay the image of some horrible human being attacking the woman that I love or want to be with or anything like that. I know me, like, I'm either two stances. I'm either very chill or extreme. Mm-hmm. I don't have a middle ground. So I'm like, if Lil Junior come up, I'm not picking Lil Junior up. I'm not. I know that sounds so cold-hearted, but I know how I'm going to feel every time I see this child. And of course, most of the time the mother won't feel that way because part of her is in that child. But you have to remember, part of you is. It's not part of me.
Right.
So that's kind of where I'm like, yes, okay, if one of my family members needs a child or can't have a child, here's what we're going to do. We can set that up like that.
And then trust me, Key, I'll pay. I'm talking about.
And to make that decision, you are default father.
I'm
be
cool
saying
with
those kind of words. As her wife, by default, if you're gonna be talking like that, you're the father, and you're making the determination. As my wife's daughter or son, and as her husband, we decide that this baby is gonna be adopted, or we decide that we're gonna keep this baby within the kin and give it to our cousin who has been having miscarriages or whatever.
And I could 100% agree on that because I do believe a life is a life. Right. Now, if you're sitting here telling me, oh, I'm going every day, I have to see this, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, the have to, like the default is just it doesn't let you choose. It's not free.
Mm-hmm.
It's like communist. It's just, I don't know. I don't like it. Mm-hmm. But I'm washing my hand with that one. That's how I feel. I just try to look at it from all different angles. And at the same time, if you're going to be her husband, you the daddy, so you're going to be decided.
Yeah.
She's going to have to compromise with you if y'all going to be staying together.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it hard for men and women to understand supply and demand when it comes to relationships? I think we have a hard time understanding supply and demand just in general.
Yeah.
Like outside of, like, unless you are the supply, like, because If I supply the work, I demand my check. We understand it there. But when we come to like, okay, when you monopolize, I'm gonna say it that when you put a monopoly on the supply, if you're the sole supplier of this particular good, which is in most relationships, like I intend to be the sole provider of all things sexual to you. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is.
Cool. That.
That's when it gets sticky, because it's like I'm the sole provider of it, but what if I ain't got that type of love in stock right now, and you need it and you want it? So I'm like, I'm gonna put it out there, but my quality standards ain't gonna be as high as they was. I'm just not feeling it today.
Yeah.
But in some cases, some people just hit you with the whole, I'm just not gonna put, no, don't even look for it. It ain't coming today.
See, I looked at it like this: was when we talk about relationships, all these different things, the main thing is there are certain qualifications that you want in a person. If you say, for some people, they had the 6 feet tall. Oh, he has to be making 6 figures, all those kind of things. Oh, some women want him to be a mechanic. They want him to be a fighter. They want him on top of that to be suave, debonair. He has the look the part. He has to smell good 24/7. He has to have the best sense of humor. All these things. That's the demand. Right. So you're going to have to pay high for that demand. Right. And the issue that I see out here is nobody wants to pay for the demand that they want. They want demand to be high, but they want to pay the low price.
Bargain shopping for your relationship.
Yes. So it becomes a big issue when you say all the qualifications you want. He got that, or she got that. But I don't want to pay too much for that. You're going to have to do and get outside your box. Like, they had the 5 different love languages, all those kind of things. Mm-hmm. But the issue comes around when you're like, I shouldn't have to do that. Yes, you should, because you're getting what you want. So you're going to have to give him or give her what she wants. Now, if you sit here and say, I don't have to give that, then maybe that's not what you want.
Yeah. Let's go back to when people like the proof is in the pudding. Like, hey, you tell me that you really, if you want to be a brain surgeon, I expect you to go to certain schools and get certain credentials and all that to get there. Because if you ain't got it, I don't expect you to come touch on my mind at any point if you ain't got what you need to. Like, if you ain't certified, you ain't certified. Vice versa, well, not vice versa. That being said, going into a relationship, okay, I meet all your qualifications. But when I look at your application to be in this relationship with me, if you ain't there, I'm gonna just say, hey, look, you missing the mark on here, and here. Like, is there something you trying to add to one of your other strengths to make this pop, or is you just telling me this is what I'm gonna get? Because if this is what I'm gonna get, there's other qualified candidates. That's what when you got an ideal job what people really want, there's a lot of people putting in applications. So you can't get upset with somebody who's saying, we're just interviewing different candidates right now to see who's who. That's why they always that line Kevin and Andrew Ted always hit you with just options. And that's also why I say men can't cheat.
Did you say you been thinking about normal Amazon shopping? Like, if I need a product, I'm gonna type it in a search bar. It's a certain type. Mm-hmm. I might be looking for a humidifier and air purifier and dehumidifier all in one.
Yeah.
And diffuser all in one. But Amazon is gonna list what they have. Yeah. That is what they got. I'm demanding. So if they don't have all that, then I might need to get on eBay.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you can't get mad at Amazon because that's not what they have to offer. Go look somewhere else.
Well,
So it's like, in a relationship, I just feel like it's hard for people because of everybody is different at the end of the day. We all grew up learning supply and demand on a different level. Like recently, I went to Kenya, and I can say they're more innovative than we are here, of course, because they don't have as much to work with, but they make it work with what they have. So when I say that, I mean, like, they might have $7, okay, and they have something that they need to get with it. Yeah, they need some deodorant. They might be musty than a bitch. But instead, they're going to buy some maize or something that they can make use of for more than one time.
Yeah.
And for more than one person. That's just how they think. So over here, how we think is different.
Okay.
And what if you want to get in a relationship with a woman that's in Kenya, and she has just that background that I told you, and your qualification list is like, well, she got to be a good woman.
Right.
Okay, I need her to be compassionate.
Mm-hmm.
I would like for her to smell good.
Okay.
But she might be like, well, he's got to find me beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
I need him to see how dedicated and hard I work.
Okay.
And how, I'm really all in.
Right.
But you like, okay, are you willing to, like, this is just an example. Are you willing to, like, make that change and start, getting deodorant? Because that's, like, what I'm looking for. And she's like, I mean, it's not that important to me.
No.
It's cool.
No.
I'm going to just be like, I'm going to just buy that, though.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah, let me buy
saying?
that for you. I'll take care of that for you. You ain't even got.
Thank God if she accepts it, because someone might be like, nigga, I don't need your shit. Like, it's just that difficulty, and that's what we're trying to figure out why. And my answer to why is your upbringing was different than mine. What was important to you, what was a demand for you, was different than what was a demand for me. What you had in your house,
right,
what was already supplied for you,
right,
is way different than what I had that was applied for me.
Right.
So it's that background, it's how you
And
run.
I agree. Yeah, I agree with that part. The only thing I look at, though, is like, I don't expect someone to be exactly where I'm at on anything. But if you're just like, no, I'm not going to change nothing, you guys accept this, like, that's where it becomes an issue. Now, if you're like, okay, we gel on so many different levels, okay, certain things we could work on fixing. Oh, well, because I remember at one point in time, I had a huge gap in my front teeth. I went and got that fixed because I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't want to see this huge gap in my front teeth. And I'm like, because I want to make myself higher demand. That means if you want to be higher quality, and yes, I hate when everybody says, oh, they're already high quality. If nobody wants what you're offering, you're not high quality. I know somebody's going to be like, oh, well, no, they're just shallow. No. If basically nobody wants basic cable anymore. Nobody.
It's true.
How many people you know actually get basic cable? It's like, nah, man, I'll go buy Hulu, I'll go buy Netflix, I'll buy some other stuff, but I'm not just going to sit here and watch those maybe 10, 15 channels that are on basic cable. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're somewhere else in like the Western society has a higher, I guess, they look at, oh, they have to be more elevated each time than the next person. Now, I understand over in like Kenya, Africa, different places like that, I could understand because you may not have a TV at all. So if you do have a TV, hey, that's a blessing. But over here, even the average people in the slums have a TV. So it's like, okay, what can you do to elevate yourself? Like to make yourself higher value. And I'm not gonna say high value man, high value women. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I don't care about all that. All I'm saying is from the point that, bruh, if you're offering something that nobody wants, you're a trash dude. No woman is going to holler at you if you're offering nothing that no woman wants. Oh, woman wants to have a faithful man. You always cheating. Oh, woman wants a man to take a shower. You don't take showers. They're pretty much going to ask you out for most women. Oh, man, he's ugly in the face. He doesn't work. I don't know one woman in the United States and Canada, not even Mexico, that's going to be like, you know what? I still take him.
I mean, we talking. All right. So there's certain things that I expect change on or compromise, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hygiene, we already know. Hey, look, I don't really feel like there's many people out there who gonna be like, nah, I ain't gonna talk about running water. Nah, I ain't jumping in that, fam. That's not realistic. You know what I'm saying?
No. There was one dude that was talking about like he had to have surgery because he wouldn't wipe his butt like he needed to, and he ended up growing an infection, and they had to cut out a chunk of his anus. And I'm like, oh, bro, how you that dirty that you literally? I'll pull it up once the podcast over with. I'm like, how you this dirty that?
Choking my cheeks out.
Yes.
Gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Because it was infected. And I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Wow, really? Because from a little kid, he never would wipe his butt like he was supposed to. Then he grew into a grown man and still didn't do that.
I would have just got him some wet wipes, man. Put the warmer in there.
The background.
Like,
it's that background. That upbringing, I'm telling y'all.
It's a lot.
It's like, really important. And that's supply and demand. Make sure you know where that stuff coming from.
Yeah.
You got to have that history.
But your mama didn't, man, if you don't get in there and take a shower. Like, come on, be honest. If we're being 100% honest, when you were real young as a boy, you came out from the side being dirty, first thing your mama say, man, you better get in there and take a shower.
Smell like outside.
Mm-hmm.
Go take a...
Mm-hmm. And you didn't.
I mean, that gentleman, he's definitely an extreme case. I feel like most rational people would see a bar of soap as something like, oh, thank God that we have the soap and the water that can run over my body. I just feel like that.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta, like, when we diving into it, because how we set up now is all about provide. Because, you know, standard man status is he a provider, right?
Yeah.
So the 6 feet, I feel like women are compromised on 6 feet unless you make it if you really got 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're like, yeah, because Jermaine Dupri still hit Janet. Like, let's just be real about it.
It's Jermaine Dupri nasty.
He went in there, he laid up with Janet Jackson. And I don't know, I've seen a picture of Jermaine Dupri. He ain't 6 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not 6 feet. So even Janet Jackson in her prime would definitely like, hey, 6 feet, who cares really what his bank account look like? And granted, if we talking about Janet Jackson, does she really need to care about your bank account? Probably not. But it just feels better.
And then what about whatchamacallit from Escape? Candy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well,
they're gonna let you slide because you meet the qualifications. Like everybody be throwing that extra stuff in there, right? But on the baseline, I feel like at a certain point, a woman's gonna reach a understand. Like, hey, look, what do my kids gotta stay over here in this area or over there in that area, the one that I really like? You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta put yourself outside of your like, nah. Yeah, he ain't 6 feet, but my kids are on this like youth football thing, and they getting to go from state to state, and somebody got to pay for their transportation because they don't provide buses. Like, and I'm just saying, I feel like. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't care how much 6 figures you got. If you ain't got enough figures to figure out you need to wipe your backside, that's different. Okay, but a lot of this other stuff just be like. It sound good, but I know most of it will be they'll forego all that if it puts them either them personally in a better situation or puts the next generation of them in a better situation.
Yeah.
And if not, then they just as extreme as the man who won't wipe his butt. I'd be like, come on, be realistic. It's not.
Yeah. Like, what was that one? I saw this other one that was crazy because she was talking about how she didn't want to marry her boyfriend because he asked her to marry him. And the issue was she was talking to her woman friend about this. And she was like, you say he was cute, right? Yes. Oh, he pays all the bill, right? Yes. Oh, so what's the issue? Well, he's not really that funny. I'm like, if funny is your qualification of all the other things that you look for, he has to be funny too. You're kind of asking for a lot. I fit everything except I'm not funny.
I'd be like, look, that's where you gotta. I need to coin the term self-compromise. Okay, look, hey, he not funny. Let me help you. They got plenty. Like I said, they got plenty of books on how to tell a joke, how to do. Get that man one, have him read it, and just be like, that ain't funny. Watch Dave Chappelle. Watch.
Right.
Figure it out.
Go to a comedy show or something.
Figure that out. If that's something that I just feel like if you presented that as this is one of the hurdles that you failing on miserably. Men are really good at taking criticism and trying to figure out a way to fix it. Like, hey, bro, you're just not funny. I'm gonna go talk to my homeboy who is funny and be like, dog, what do you be saying? Even if I'm just gonna straight up jack his jokes. I got you.
He's a joke stealer.
I'm a joke stealer, but I'm a heart stealer too. Okay?
Yeah.
That's my primary mission was to get my girl. Don't think I'm gonna take your stuff on the road, man. I'm taking it home. I'm just gonna use it there. You ain't gotta worry about it.
I agree.
Or I might not be funny. I'll just play a whole bunch of comedies at the house all the time. Like, he ain't funny, but he got the funniest movies. I'm him. That's, like I said, she's just as irrational as a guy who don't want to wipe his butt with the infection. I'm just like, you gotta pick and choose, fam. It's too much.
I agree.
It's too much. If they have a bad relationship with their parents, is that a red flag?
Yes.
Why? I'm just curious,
It's like a million whys. That's not something I pursue because I love family. Like, I have a lot of family. Personally, I have grown up with 2 sets of parents. So that was a whole bunch of cousins and grandmas and aunts and travel and uncles and food, different kinds of food. Like my mom is from Dallas and her people are from East Texas. My dad, my biological dad, he's from Kenya. And then my stepdad, he is from Flint, Michigan. And then my dad, his wife, when he was married, growing up, his wife was from Beaumont, Texas. So I just had a lot of like opportunity and experiences because I got to see Black family on like a lot of different platforms. Like, I got to see good family reunions. I got to see fucked up family arguments. I got to see family come from Africa who I never met, but this is my first cousin. I got to see family who is not biologically mine, but you can't tell them that because they love me and I love them so much. And just to be received, by family, it's important to me just to have that time, like, not just funerals and not just birthday, like, coming together. Like, I love cousins. So I feel like you need your family, and parents are important. Like, your upbringing is going to say a lot about you and how much I like you. So if your mama allowed you to do whatever and she never said anything to you, never corrected you or taught you, and you think you coming over here to me and just know it all, and then I'm like, that's incorrect. That's not social norm. Like, you need to fix that. It's going to be a problem. Because if your mama never told you, don't be mean to a waitress at a restaurant, and you are rude, and then mean you go on a date, I'm leaving.
I 100% agree with that, especially
red flag is important. Family is important because how you talk to your mama is really important to me.
Yeah.
Or how you talk about her.
You remember the old school saying, how you treat your mama is how you may treat your woman?
Right.
And I'm like, yes, because I could not imagine treating my wife or my mama anything less than the queen they are. And I don't understand where you get to a point where you like, to hell with my mama, to hell with my family kind of stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. I know there's some trash families out here. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
If you have one of those trash families, I'm sorry. I feel really heartbroken for you. But like, me and my family, like, we cool as butter. It's like, we're going to hang with each other. We're going to, like, my little brother come over. Shoot, I just moved into my new house. I'm like, we already trying to plan the barbecue. Like, we're going to do barbecue. We're going to end up doing Thanksgiving over here.
Oh, legit.
Like, but the thing is, my family is a big part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I could not imagine dating someone where they're like, to hell with family. Like, I could, especially not marry them.
Yeah.
And then that food restaurant
kids,
one.
when y'all go on a vacation, what if your mama is on a vacation at the same time? You going? Who can watch your kids?
Yeah.
So like, it's just like, if you can, have a relationship with your parents, if they still here and they're not deceased, it's perfect to try.
Yeah.
If you don't know where they at, if you don't know where they are, give some research. We have a whole bunch of platforms for everything, and I'm so certain it's a locator. Because people do it on movies all the time, and I know that's movies, but baby, them kids, when they really want to know who their dad is, they find them.
Yeah. All right.
So, I think it's, to me, it is a red flag. What do you think?
I'm going to say it depends. Look, sometimes, because right now, I got some family members, I be like, we cool. But I ain't going to sit back and say, like, my parents, though, no. Parents, that could be in my opinion, that's a red flag. When we start moving outside the immediates, I'd be like, look, sometimes.
But everybody got them kind of family members.
And that's what I'm saying.
Like, everybody got that cousin on the other end is like, oh. Like, well, why? Why
you show up to that thing?
Or you got that one that can't stay out of jail. Or you got that one that, basically knowing that's your girl, your woman or something, but they getting a little extra friendly and you like, hey, cuz, let's not go down this wrong road because you won't get messed up over here. My bad, kinfolk. My bad. Like, there's always those. Everybody got that in their family. Everybody got somebody named Pookie or something in their family. The one that, if you need some work put in, I'm going to call him.
Yeah.
Oh,
it use people like that, though. But at the same time, I do understand that those people do exist. We all know.
Everybody got somebody.
I guess when it comes to relationship, because I feel like we're looking at relationship only like one setting. Because some dude could be like, I was raised, my mama took care of me, so, my mama come first. I'm in a space where my mom's like, no, your wife, it's your wife. Then, I'm a close second, but understand that I expect you as a man to take care of your home.
But
So I just feel like it's people who it's like it's red flags all like in multiple places.
I guess what I'm saying with what you're saying, if a mom actually raised her child right, especially a boy child, mama's not always right. Hey, you grew up and became a man. I can't be telling you what to do as a grown man. I could give you my guidance,
Right.
and if you listen to it, cool. If you don't listen to it, cool. But if I'm sitting here telling you, no, she's not right, no woman is right, this is an issue.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the only person good for you is mama. You sound like you having a relationship.
But I'm saying because it sound, but I know I be like with the daughter because we got to flip the script at the same time. Dude walk up in here automatically.
It depends on the age.
I go into judgment mode. Like he can't even pull his pants up. And I was the same kid that had my pants down. But I'm like, look, I don't want us to get to a point where we are so refined that we don't recognize that there was a point where we was unfiltered too. Okay. And
but with your unfiltered, yes, as a man, you should be very cautious of your daughter because you know what goes on out here. You know what little boys after, even though little boys are lying and say, no. Even sometimes your daughter will say, no, that's not what it is. Yes, he is. Stop telling these lies. Yes, he is.
What I'm saying, we saying that now. Because I'm just saying, first of all, the volume on the voice modulation changed when you threw daughter in there. That's all I'm saying, man.
Of course it changed when you threw daughter in there. Because we are men.
But what I'm saying is this. Okay, look. That little boy does have a mom. And we said that it's not right for that mom to think that there's no girl that's actually
at what age? My daughter come in here at 15 talking about, I really love him. I'm going to do exactly, I know y'all seen the little TikTok where the little daughter walks up with her boyfriend and the grandfather's like, hey, baby, how you doing? She's like, oh, hey, this is my boyfriend. She's like, boyfriend? And then all of a sudden he uppercuts the boyfriend and he's like, take your little butt in the house. Like, now get on up and go home. Yeah, at 15, that's what you're going to get. You 15, you don't know nothing. Now, when you get I don't give a crap.
Like, that's not real. Like, come on.
It is real life in my life.
Like, okay, so what you gotta peel back the layers on this, man.
I'm gonna be real.
Uppercut a 15-year-old.
Yes, I will.
Assault charge.
Yes, I will. Yes, I will. It's not what you know; it's what you can approve.
Jeremy, I don't know if you ever looked in the mirror, bro, but I don't think you uppercutting a child is gonna end.
First of all, where's the bruise? Where's the bruise? Because the uppercut is right there. So when you catch this uppercut, I ain't bruising nothing. You just going
either way. What I'm telling you is, at 15, you say you're in love. I'd be like, one, you don't know what love is, but also that's a pivotal moment in any child's life. It's for a boy or girl. Like, hey, he said I don't know what love is. Then what is it? Let me go find. Let me see. I like you a lot, right? Let me see how far love goes in this thing. Like the girls I talk to in middle school, I don't see them. I don't talk to them. If I do come across them, I'm gonna definitely say hey. And if you couldn't tell me I wasn't in love then, like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful, and da da da. So I'm like, that's a moment that I had to. But then when I found out like what I was willing to do for a woman at a certain age, it's like, oh, yeah, when you tell me I gotta go and work all day and then bring my check and just give it away, that's like, I must really love you in some way. Like,
1 Corinthians 13:4-8. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not envy. Love or boast. Like, there's a lot. Love is not rude. Like, there's a lot of things that says love is. So when you talk about what is love, you're not going to tell me he thinks I'm cute or she thinks I'm cute. I have a son and a daughter, and I would tell them both the same thing. If my son going to get ready to go to NFL and this girl say she loves him, I'm gonna be like, son, man, you better sit your happy-go-lucky self down. Just because you horny,
No.
and that, yes, I will tell him the same thing. Because I'm
Now,
gonna
don't
be
get me
like,
wrong.
son, you have something that she's looking for, a future.
I commend you for looking out for your son in one instance and then your daughter in another.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't uppercut his girlfriend.
Surprise me. But what I'm saying is this. You explained to me where you see the value at. So your daughter automatically has value from birth, right?
Yes.
Because, hey, you 15, you don't know what love is. You about to give away your youth and all that. You should be trying to figure this thing out, right? For your son, bro, if you don't do something that's extraordinary by this age, you know what I'm saying? Hey, if she take you and you ain't got nothing, then she losing, and you okay with that. But if you get something that's really valuable, hey, I'm gonna warn, hey, no, you can't do this because he got something valuable now. I was just like, we have this
because we know the truth. It's just everybody keeps trying to say they're equal. No, they're not. In certain ways, you know for a fact, like you know that your daughter, more people will be after your daughter than your son at a certain age.
Right.
Now, when your son gets older and his value grows, more people will be after him, and then he will be tested. But your daughter, like, there isn't a girl on this earth that hadn't been offered no D at any point in time. Now she's gonna be like, no, I'm good. No. Because women get hollered at all the time.
Yeah.
Little boys ain't getting hollered at like that. You may have a rare one out of the entire group that little girls start thinking are cute. But it isn't until they start getting older that they're like, hey, little boys, by the time they hit puberty, basically they trying to holler at any woman that they think they could possibly have a chance with. I remember dudes in middle school would clown the girl so hard, then come to find out they knocking the chick off. I'm like, how you gonna talk that bad about her, but yet you sleeping with her? There was in high school, one of the most popular boys in the school. He was knocking off this real fat, ugly chick. He was just like, she can't tell nobody. And nobody knew about it. And then she told me on the last day of school. I'm like, oh, so he was doing all this trash talking about you.
Dang.
I'm like, that is harsh. But even ugly chicks get the same privilege that pretty chicks do. It's just how hard you're gonna work for it. A pretty chick, you'll work harder. It's like,
them last day of school talks he said he
mm-hmm.
That was too much.
Mm-hmm. Find out all these little secrets.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Like,
You did what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. See, I never got them sleepovers because I had all brothers. And
Yeah, me either.
one of my friends, I hated him. I hate him for his name. He probably watching this. Pretty Rico, what they called him. Because he was a pretty boy and he had sisters. And I'm like, so all the girls go over his house. And I'm like, okay, I try not to hate, but I'm like, all the girls go over his house. But everybody looked at, oh, we gotta watch Jeremy. I'm like, well, we gotta watch me. What I do? He over here on sleeping with half of them. I'm like,
but you gotta understand, his situation is different than yours, man.
bruh.
It's not like that situation was thrust upon him. He didn't go set that up. You was out there physically trying to in search of that. He was like, is it my fault I got sisters? Is it my fault that they think I'm cute? It's not.
Oh, that makes
all
sense.
these things I was just born with. It was just how it worked.
Now I wanted to go kick it with him, and we just laugh about it now because I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. You were one of my best friends, but I hated you sometimes. It wasn't that I hated you, I hated on you because I was like,
Give you this situation.
he get like, oh, well, we going over his house. Oh, your sister over there. Oh, sneak out of his sister's room. On somewhere else. Oh, I'm like, ain't this
Hey,
about?
man, look, I don't know. I wouldn't hate. I'd be like, look, fam, just invite me over sometime. Like, I'm
My
not.
mom wouldn't let me go over because he had sisters.
Look, mama, you gotta understand.
You gotta understand.
We gotta figure this out, mom.
That don't work over here. Because my mama was strict as hell.
I get it. But I'd be like, look.
Ain't no sleepovers. If there was a sleepover, they come over my house.
Oh, man, yeah.
And then girls didn't get to come over.
Well, you got nothing, a house full of boys. What is he gonna do?
He had.
Come on, man.
You ever get to that moment? You know, you just like, yeah.
Look, I'll be like, look, mama, I'm going though. He gonna throw this party and this is sleep. I gotta go to this sleepover, mom. I'm going.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I gotta do is it straight A's? Do I need to cut the yard? Do I need to? What I gotta do? Because I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gotta win. I don't see.
Mm-hmm.
We hear people bash single mothers for the ills of society. What can we say about the dads, though? I mean, I posed this question because there was a guy who blamed. Remember, we had the podcast about the 5 cows beat up the one guy, Mr. Nichols, Tyree Nichols, and then there was a guy who came on there and said, "Hey, no, this single mothers are to blame because I'm guessing the majority of those."
Jason Whitlock, I think, was the person that did it.
Right. So I'm like, okay, if we gonna put that amount of responsibility on the mother, right? Then what can we say about the father who wasn't in the home? Granted, I understand some people can be like, well, she probably put him in a situation where he couldn't be there, or this, that, and the third. But I'm like, did she put him in there, or did the government put you in there? Because if you giving all kinds of financial assistance to those who don't have a man inside the home, don't you basically set up the scenario for, hey, even if you're not here, I'm gonna get a check. Like, I'm gonna be fine without you. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want, I definitely want people to continue getting your government aid and assistance, right? But at the same time, we gotta stop going through life thinking that the male presence in the home isn't as valuable as the female presence in the home.
Like, and I agree with what you're saying. I could see it from both ends because I will say, honestly, I think I would say more in a male-led home. I think you would have more of the what is that? What is that called? You know, when the mental illness, because a lot of times as a man we're brought up, hey, we're not going to cry, we're not going to do this, especially in the older generation. You're not basically told everything, even though you could understand certain things, but it's like you're told, hey, don't cry. I understand this world's not going to be nice to you, but without a woman's presence, you don't have both sides of the coin that you need. Like,
how I see it is, granted, I come from a two-parent home, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I understand that your mom telling you, I mean, I know it's not viewed positively if you do cry as a man, right? However, if you do, it is what it is. Mm-hmm. And my father, his main thing was to teach me, hey, there's some stuff that's going to come your way that you ain't going to have much control over, but everybody going to blame you. Sometimes it's just better to accept that because you can deal with it and move on. Just let that go. Because if you fight for everything, soldiers don't live long. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not telling you not to fight for what you want or fight for what, but every battle ain't one. Every battle ain't for you to go out here and fight like this.
Yeah.
Really ain't. Fight for your family. Fight for your this, that, the third. But I just feel like you as a father, you come up in a situation and you say, hey, look, cops pull you over for any reason, comply, You know, if they ain't violating your rights, let them do their job and go on about your business. It ain't no need for you to get emotional.
Yeah.
Don't tie it all in. Granted, your mom, like my mom, she tell you the truth. Like, no, they probably stopping you because you're black. They probably stopping you because you this, that, and the third. Like, but your father gonna be like, is it more important for you to fight them cops today or come home tonight?
Yeah.
You make the decision. Like, and granted, rational mind. I'd rather just go home.
Like, at the end of the day, I've always told people, I've told young people, older people, I told people that I've just talked to on a general basis. You need both sides of the coin. Is if they level each other out.
Yeah.
Like, if you have so much masculinity, you really don't know. I'll be honest. I didn't learn how to talk to women from my dad. I learned how to talk to women from my mom because she told me certain things that women wanted. So listening to her and all those kind of things, I'm like, okay, I got 1 point. Because my dad was teaching me more, hey, be strong, pay these bills, do the things you need to, which also helps with talking to women too, because they want you to be on your P's and Q's. But if you're just always paying bills, doing this kind of stuff, you're not going to last long in a relationship. Oh, I paid the bills. Okay.
Okay, but what are we about to do?
Yeah. It's like, oh, how you feel about me? Well, I paid the bills.
Yeah. It's not all, you can't put it all on a single moment. Shout out to Fantasia for the song Baby Mamas.
Oh, I hate that song, bro. I hate that song.
We gotta clean this up, okay? You can't be saying. Granted, she made the song "Baby Mamas," okay, but like we can't just be intertwining single mamas and baby mamas, because you could be a baby mama and like my wife is my baby mama. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want you to feel like you gotta be single and do it in order to listen to this Fantasia song.
Yeah.
You can listen to that song and have a well-functioning relationship at home.
That song, like, it irritated my soul because she was like, oh, it's a badge of honor to be a baby mama. I'm like, no, it's a badge of honor to get married, have children, be loved by your children, all those kind of things. That's a badge of honor. It's like when my children run over, hug me, all that kind of stuff, make me feel all warm inside. Even when I try to be as hard as I could be, it's like, oh, like they're gonna run over here, they're gonna mess with me. Sometimes they're gonna irritate me, but I'm like, those things is like warm my heart. Because I could say it like this: when it was just me by myself, oh, I was ruthless to people. I was cold-hearted to people. And we ain't gonna go back on that. But no, we're not gonna go. We ain't gonna talk about that. That was on the last episode. They can go to previous episodes and see those things. Okay. But all I'm saying is my children actually warm my heart to certain things, because at one point I was cold. It was like, hell, it was, if I agree with you, I agree with you. But if I don't like you, I ain't gonna say that I don't cuss anymore.
That's good.
But, it was like, F you. And that was my stance on everything. If I don't like you, to hell with you. I don't care. I don't care who like me, who don't like me, whatever, all that kind of stuff. But my children, being a father, helped me do that. And I also say that their mother actually helps them with them. Yes, they're supposed to run to their mama when I'm being rude or when I'm being harsh with them.
Yes.
That helps. It's like...
And same to mama.
Mm-hmm.
Because y'all be tripping.
No, I always be tripping.
Mamas be tripping and daddies be tripping too.
Yeah.
So, you just can't... It just works out having both in the house.
Yes.
And it helps the kid because I've had a lot of professions dealing with, like, adolescents. And you can just see the severity of not having your mama and your dad.
Yeah, you could definitely see it.
And then you can see, I can even see the severity of a foster kid not having, like, two parents.
Yeah.
Like, just having one.
Right.
It's just yin and yang. That energy, it meshes well because I cannot do everything a man can do, and a man can't do anything I can do that don't belong to him. Like,
Right.
he might be a nurturer, but I might know a little more about this certain thing than him. Not saying he can't do it, but I sure can't, go out and hunt as well as he could. Not saying I can't
So
feed the table tonight.
I gotta ask you this question though.
Yeah.
Honest question. Do you believe that women can raise a boy to be a man and a man can raise a girl to be a woman?
Yes, with guided assistance. Like, you need some type of woman at church or like a neighbor to kind of take that girl and just have some women time, some girl time. You can live with your daddy, but your auntie coming to get you to just take you to the beauty supply house or the beauty shop. It just can mean a lot to your womanhood. Like, you can remember that. Because your dad's not going to know how to deep condition your hair as well as your auntie. He's not going to know how to lay your edges. So, and then with a woman, too. Somebody at school, maybe a principal or somebody, like I said, at church. When y'all have those boys and men hangouts that she can't go to, she's going to need to be able to leave her boy with somebody that she can trust, that he is comfortable with trusting and allowing to take care of him, because kids, they need both sides, But I don't think it's absolutely impossible. I just think that it's beneficial when you do have opportunities for them to be with somebody that is like them, because you don't want to just raise a monster,
I feel like there's a filter back. Like I say filter because I constantly give people this understanding that the filters I run my life with and how I see the world, all the filters that sit between me and what actually is and what I conjured in my head, it's all based from a male perspective. So, just like you said, if a 15-year-old boy come into this house and she says she in love, my male filters and it could be because I did certain things as a kid. I've seen my homeboys do certain things as kids. At 15, I know that what he got for you probably ain't 100%. It ain't what's good for you. I know that he's saying that right now, but he don't know what it is. He just know what he can get from you. So your safety net come on. I'm finna uppercut this kid right now. Boom, bow. So if you're telling me I, as a man who is a man, can raise the girl to be a girl, because a woman's gonna be like, even though, because she had her 15-year-old boyfriend, I'm sure, she like, even though I know that, hey, that's probably not the best thing for her right now, but she understands what it felt like to be a girl and have puppy love at 15. It's like, that's a moment. That's something that you gotta go through so you can understand. He don't really know what he want. He don't really know how he should treat you, and he gonna try, but he most likely he's gonna fail.
And I feel like those discussions are so important coming from a man or a daddy. And don't wait till that shit happen. You need to tell your daughter that, like, when she's 8, like 12, 15, like, hey, baby girl, let me tell you, it's gonna be somebody at that field trip from another school looking at you. And when y'all have lunch, they might be like, ooh, what kind of chips do you have? I got these. And they might be like, ooh. You make it real friendly, real understanding, but you keep having that conversation with her, and you start a new scenario. It's the same conversation, but this is a different scene because you're older.
Yeah.
Now you're at college. Now you're on the yard or at that party, and now y'all have to go to the after party. You have to keep having that conversation because it needs to stick.
Yes. I 100% agree
short-
with you on it.
A short one little time, I might be like, I don't even remember. But I can vividly remember my daddy getting on my nerves about boys and how they're going to approach me. And he told this same conversation to me and my two cousins. And I promise we would roll our eyes back. But he said the truth. It happened. Everything he said, like,
Because
It's
like,
filters are on. Like, he like,
because
I'm
we
telling you
know,
from
we know
experience.
it's like Spidey sense. It's like no. Because I'm gonna be honest, and I'm gonna just say 100. There ain't no 15-year-old boy. If a girl say I love you, the next thing he doing is trying to smash. There's not one out here. If he ain't trying to, well, you ain't gotta worry about him no more. You really ain't even gotta worry about him. Like, I'm just being honest. Once little girls, especially around that 15, 16-year-old age, start talking about love, most little boys are like, gotcha. It's like, you love me, so what would you do because you love me?
I gotta show it.
Mm-hmm.
and it's not only little
So
girls and little
predatory.
boys no more. We got a whole new society.
Yeah.
So it's that
Yeah, I
that
don't know
is
what to
very
say on
true.
that.
What you gonna do? How you show me you love me then.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that conversation that has to be had.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love my children so much. I ain't gonna lie. Only 3 things in this world I was scared of for the entire part of most of my life. God, catching something I couldn't cure, and having a baby out of wedlock. Now, I'm like, man, I gotta worry about my kids. I gotta worry about how much I love them. I'm gonna kill this little boy or something. It's like, because the first little boy put his hand on my daughter, I ain't gonna lie. Either your cousin gonna drop him, your big brother gonna drop him, or here come daddy to drop him. Somebody gonna drop him. I don't care what his parents say. I'll go to jail behind my kids right now. And people be thinking, oh man, he just a little extra. No, I'm just that serious.
I just
Yeah.
feel like it's just the same level of passion and aggression. It's like we don't send that over to the voice like, hey, fam.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I
Because
still
I'm
get right behind my kid.
Like, my
son
pa
did.
gave us the speech. It was real quick. It was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you put a hat on your gym. Done. Like, got the message. Done. Received. You know what I'm saying? But with my sister, I'm sure it was an elaborate speech, well thought out.
So
Here you go.
Yeah,
It's like,
I don't know why it's like that for y'all.
because
Can we be real? Can we be
that's
real?
the only way we can be.
Okay, so keep it 100. The reason why that dudes do it more for women, because when women fall for dudes, basically, I'm gonna show you everything to prove. When dudes be falling, we do stupid stuff. We'll give you money. I give you my juice. I give you some other stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, she told me to have sex without a condom, and I just did it. Because little girls really ain't doing it like that. Well, this new age, I don't know, they're kind of wilding. But I'm just saying, for the most part, when dudes know I got you, it's like, them draws probably trying to come off sometime soon.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet money on it. Like, they always say, the game remains the same, but the players change.
Yeah.
It's the same thing since the beginning of the time. Your grandpa did it, your great-grandpa did it, your daddy did it, you gonna do it, your kid gonna do it too. So it's like, hey, be smart. Do what you need to.
I blame Disney for this one. Okay, I'm gonna just be 100%.
Oh my goodness.
Look, Ariel, she come through with forks in her hair and all this. We live in an underwater society with all kinds of fish and all that. You meet one guy.
The first dude.
The first guy. The first thing they take from you is your voice. Now you speechless. Oh, yeah. They got that type of effect. You get to stop. You stop talking to me. Okay. The first thing you do is keep his thought process overrule mine. So anytime we talk about him, oh, Dad, I don't want to talk about it. Dad, look, why you always talk? You instantly irritated with me. So I'm like, okay, they took your voice away. Now, you go over here, you got your homegirl who really your frenemy, mean you no good, giving you advice on how to keep your man. Well, girl, look. What I can do for you, girl, I know he like these types. The first thing he gave her, first thing Ursula gave her was, I'm going to give you some legs. Right? I'm going to give you some legs. The only reason she gave her legs is because the guy going to be like, well, if you out the ocean and I can't hit, then what's the point? Ursula gave her legs so she could spread them, fam. I'm telling you right now, go look at it, you go watch it. Ursula gave that lady legs so she could spread. So your homegirl like, oh, well, you know he like to hit, so you might have to. And you ain't talking to me, the guy who know. I'm like, look, I dealt with a lot of humans, especially male humans. They don't really mean you that much well. You finally then your homegirl start chasing. I'm going to go act like her, look like her, and she started chasing your man. So what does that do? That provides you with a high-pressure situation. You know what your friend finna do if she gets your man. She going to be laying up with your man. That puts you in a compromised position. Either I sleep with him or she going to sleep with him, and she don't really like him like that. I'm 15, because first day, she go that. The only thing she said to her dad after she met the little prince guy was, why is he like, I'm upset with you, Dad, and Daddy, I love him. That was it. That's the whole dialogue between her and the father after that, because everything else she was irritated and annoyed with her father, right? She get on land. Granted, Disney did right by the lady by saying, okay, well, you're going to get married and you get your voice back and everything gonna be right.
Well, if you get technical, he ended up talking to Ursula when she had the voice.
Right.
And then they were about to get married until
high pressure situation. You got, it's like you said, going back to the topic, it takes a two-person situation.
Make things go right.
Because your mom already know about them girls they claim they're your homegirl, but they mean you no good. She telling you how to deal with your man because she's trying to take your man. Okay?
Right.
Your father dealing with it from his perspective, like, hey, I know when I was 15, I didn't even know what all I had to do to really say that I love a female, right? But on top of that, I know primarily what I wanted to do when I finally got the female. Like, I know this is what I want, and you got it, and I like you more than I like the other ones, so I would really like it from you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's like everybody got to throw their little filters on it. Like,
you remember the old saying, it take a village to raise a child?
Literally.
Yeah, but now everybody's like, no, nobody can tell me about my child. And your child out there wilding out, getting the bottom knocked out of her.
That is crazy.
But this lack communication.
It's like, if your granny was here, your grandpa, they would not be approving of that. So that's how you kind of have to think about it.
Right.
It's very important to not put it all on the mama because that's the village.
Everybody got something to say. Mm-hmm. Everybody should be saying something. Hey, look, warning signs. Mm-hmm. This ain't right, and here's why.
Like if you got older cousin, and when I mean by older cousin, I ain't talking about 3 years older.
Nah, because they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know nothing. No. Older cousin, you ain't, they in their 20s, you 15, or something like that.
It's like be aunts and uncles. Your aunts and uncles should come through and be like, let me be that guidance figure. Hey, look, I know you ain't listening to your pops right now because y'all got you told him about Prince Eric, but let me tell you, I'm sad that she gave you legs and then she started chasing your man, but I'm going to tell you like this. If he fall for it, don't be upset. It's just he's just being 15. That's him. It's not your fault. Somebody got to say it. Yeah. It's got to be somebody that I can receive the information coming from them. You know what I'm saying? That's why I feel like if you got your parents, it's certain information, it's certain pieces of information that only my father could tell me. You know what I'm saying? And there's certain information that only my mother could tell me. True. And then there's certain pieces of information I'm like, hey, Uncle Mike, when that happened, what did you do? Because I don't want to go direct to my pop because
Right.
I don't want him to think I'm a simp, right? Like, she asked for my milk. Should I give her my milk? I'm thirsty too, though. Depends on if you like her.
Like, how much you like her?
How much you like what you getting for that milk. That's a gonna tell you statement. Your pop gonna be like, hell no, son. Keep that milk.
You better drink your milk. I ain't
buy no milk for her. What you mean? So everybody got their filters they gonna throw on it. And you just gotta I just feel like.
But you know, if you have all those filters, just like on mic, once you have all those filters, they help you to stop a lot
of foolishness. Because, like I said, filters are you blocking all those negative particles from different people. Like, hey, somebody coming at me with with that stupidness. Now let me throw my mama filter in there. Boom. Look, baby, I don't need none of that from you. Yeah, I'm going to the NFL. Look, you ain't my mama quality. She ain't gonna prove you. Just stay back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to win. Hey, I need to throw my dad filter up right here. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I really want to give her my milk or not, man? I'm just asking. It's just the question. Now we jumping into You Won't Believe This. This is brought to you by.
So, as always, love to shout out my beautiful wife. Love you, baby. Check out her two different product lines. She has Wasted Desires at wasteddesires.com. They have thigh chains, bracelets, anklets, waist beads, basically all the things to glamorize the body. Then we have Yanni Like Mine. Ladies, if you don't know what your Yanni is, you need to take care of it and look that up. It does not take care of itself. Then always check out Traces Like Mine. They're this is hair care for Black women, by Black women, to help out Black women. So, check them all out. They're on Facebook and on Instagram, and you can go wasteddesires.com.
So, now, anybody you want to show love to?
I want to show love to all the people who love salad. That's my favorite food. And all my family and friends, I love y'all.
Top notch. Mike, he does a gaming podcast, SOB, but it's State of Being, not the other way. Tyler Bailey, Luxury Clothes by Luxury Guy. And most importantly, if you made it this far into the program, I want to shout out myself or ourselves, which is Something for the People. That's something for number 4, DA, people. And if you're on YouTube and you want to kind of condense that search so you can make sure we, within those first 5, go ahead and type podcast at the very end. Like, subscribe, and if you're on any podcasting platform from Stitcher to Anchor to such and so, go ahead and leave us a rating, 5 stars. Ideally, if you can't get 5 stars, just keep your opinion. I don't really, you know what I'm saying?
Nobody cares.
It's cool. You know, there's a lot of podcasts out there now. Just go get one of them. Let us be with the people who like us. All right? Cool. Transsexual businesswoman buys Miss Universe pageant and says that anyone that identifies as a woman will be able to enter.
What do you mean by buys?
Like, she owns the Miss Universe pageant. So she sets up all the parameters, rules, and regulations for it. Because she bought basically the pageant itself. So all the filters, everything goes through her.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. I'm not going to talk negative about it because that's not going to it's not going to do nothing. Like, honestly, be what you want to be, but don't mess with me. So, if I get in that pageant.
But, okay. Here's the issue that I have. It's like, I don't talk negative on anyone because how you feel, that's on you. But at some point in time, when's this stuff gonna stop? Because what I'm saying is like, it used to be to uplift women. That's what pageants were to uplift, promote women, being strong, showing their beauty, showing them themselves, their skills. Now what you're saying is someone that identifies as a woman can come in And she actually won. And the irritation for me is like, when I look at a Miss Universe pageant, you're supposed to have the whole thing. Like, but just because you are a transsexual, basically you're the only one there. So if somebody says, oh, you don't deserve to win, it's going to look negative. But if you do win, it's like, hold up, what about all the other ladies that came into this pageant? Like, I think I'm great. I think I'm beautiful. I think I'm skilled. I think I can do these things. Now, all of a sudden, not only do I have to compete with the women, but I gotta compete with the people that identify as a woman.
Like, what is the difference between drag race and pageant? Because I feel like there is I don't know, I thought that was a safe space for me. But
how I see that is with the whole drag situation. Granted, I don't know much about it, so if I'm wrong, feel free to tell me I'm wrong. Just understand that I speak from a place of ignorance. What it is with the drag component, it's like, hey, everybody in here typically is a man dressing as a woman, and cool. So everybody's on an even playing field. Like, hey, but when you're doing with the Miss Universe, I feel like if we going off, because I always viewed it like the Miss Universe pageant was based on beauty. Like, and I say natural beauty, but we know there's a little finagling there, but typically they want you to show up with what you were born with, right? So now I got to introduce this whole element to where now not only do this woman have to compete with just natural beauty altogether, the natural beauty of a woman, now I got to compete with somebody doctor. Like, he got the Adam's apple shave and got the nose job and the this, that, and the third. Like, you have your westernized view of beauty and you get to go and buy it and literally put it on. It's like, how am I supposed to compete?
I wouldn't really want to.
Like, I'll be like, I'm done with that. If that's where it's going to go to.
But see, that's where the equality thing is. They're blurring the lines because if you really get technical, there are transsexual people, I'm trying to be more politically correct with it, that are breaking the records in all the women's events. The weightlifting record, the what was it? The bicycle record, the powerlifting record. I mean, there's so many records being broke by women that are not biologically women, but because they stated the fact, I'm a woman. So right now, I could go right now, break the deadlift record for women by just saying, I identify as a woman right now. Lift it up, because there was a dude that did that. There was a dude that actually did that, but I know I could squat more than he can. So right now, if I want to, I'll put on a piece of hair and say, you know what?
Wait. You don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
You can just walk in there just like you are right now. I identify as a woman. And then they're going to respect it because you shunned everybody who was like against it. And now, go ahead, lift. Boom. All right. So the new record now is held by Jeremy Hicks. I just feel like with the whole, if I was a woman, I really feel upset because I'm like, it seems like all of these things are outright an attack on what we do.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I don't really see people being like, I want to be a man, like, as much.
I'm going to be real, because they're not going to break none of them records. You're not going to beat I'm going to be honest, and I don't care who feels some way. If we're being honest, it's always a benefit if the dude switches to the ladies' part versus the lady switches to the men. You have not heard one woman that has had to change or anything like that switch from a woman to a man to break any record, because all the men still hold them records. Right. Like, every last one of those records has still been held by a man, because you know as well as I do, physically strong as a man, you're not going to come in this game, even if you pump steroids right now, benching and doing more than me. Yes, there are going to be some frail, smaller men that, yeah, you could beat him up, but You ain't gonna get into the octagon and go fight John Bones Jones.
No.
He gonna demolish you quickly. You could pump all the steroids you want right now as a lady. Once you get into that octagon, he's gonna demolish you. Just like if you go football, how come you haven't heard any of the transsexual people breaking any of the records in any of the male sports? Because it don't happen.
But I'm just saying, when you in male sports, you've already set back and denied so many males the opportunity to get into the sport, right? Because you went through pee-wee, elementary, middle school, high school, college, and now we filter out, we only wanted the best. So, granted, if you're going to let her in, well, him, who's a trans, look, it's confusing. If you're going to let this woman come out and play, if you let this woman come out and play, then you neglect all the work I put in. Because if need be, I know you put me against her in the same place, and I'm supposed to run around against her, or I'm supposed to tackle her with her, I know I'll get it done. There's no question. But roles switch. All right, now they got a women's football league or a women's basketball league. Like, hey, granted, I'm not going to go out here and go as far as say I'm going to be the top basketball player in the world in the WNBA, but I know I hit a couple crossovers, like, they going to be like, he's a force, and I ain't played basketball in a very, very long time.
Yeah.
It just is what it is. So I just feel like the whole transgender movement is really hurting women. And I feel like a lot of men, although men have strong opinions about it, but the fact is, it doesn't really affect us the same. So
it does affect y'all when it comes to, dating.
Right.
But as far as like your value or like your worth being compared to, it's just like, what? It's just, I don't want to exclude them at all. But we're not the same, in my opinion.
And that is, like we all talk about people's truth. There's a fact, and then there's not the fact. We keep trying to, this is my truth. No, the truth is the truth.
Right.
It's based in fact. I could prove this is this. Like, it just bothers me because I want everybody to be treated fair. I don't believe in mistreatment, anyone being treated unfairly or any of that kind of stuff. But I'm like, basically you're discriminating on other people by throwing someone else in there and saying, "Oh well, they're the same." Like, hold up, how they get in here? Because for the Miss Universe pageant, you had to what was it? It was by the states or the countries first, and then like once you got to that level, then you go to the next level. So you sitting here telling me, and if you saw the picture, okay, the lady from the Orange is the New Black that used to be a man, but the lady, okay, I'm like, I will give her props on that. You really can't tell that she used to be a man. Certain people, you would be like, okay, I could see that. But when you look at the lady, and I'm like, so she beat everybody? She beat all the women.
It's supposed to be
all the women.
It's supposed to be the beauty standard is you met or exceeded. If you can consider yourself Miss Universe,
yes,
you're the most beautiful woman out. Right?
Yes. That was just like when they said Caitlyn Jenner was the beautiful woman of the year.
I was like, out of all these women, I don't get me wrong. That's a real win for the trans community.
Yes.
LGBTQ. Hey.
Yeah.
For those, that's a real win. But I just know there's plenty of women out here who really do amazing things with limited things or in terrible situations, or like they really going through really having a hard time, and they making it work. And we gonna give it to you because you decided that you're a man but you're gonna be a woman. That's the that's the hardest thing you can do.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Because it's not. It's like, how do you look at it the same? Like, I've been a woman since birth.
Mm-hmm.
You've been a woman since 3 years ago, 7 years ago. Can we have some kind of qualification?
Well, that's the thing is
it's
because
not
now,
fair.
like,
I'm not
it
trying
used-
to exclude y'all, but maybe we can make your own category,
That's
or
what I'm
maybe we can, how do I want to say this?
and I understand you want to make sure you word it correctly because I never want anyone to think that I am trying to mistreat or abuse anyone or tell someone how they feel. But my thing is, if we go toward qualifications, bruh, if the qualification for a job, but then you keep giving the job to who you want to, everybody gonna look at the job and say, well, hell, I don't need the qualifications no more.
And that would just make me forfeit and not even decide to sign up.
Yeah.
Because if you want to just rule out all the biological women, then just make your own shit. Make your own category.
Yeah. I respect it.
So they understand where I come from. Because like I said, I don't want them to feel like I'm dismissing or trying to hit you with a separate but equal. No. That's not how it is. At a certain point in American history, we had this thing called affirmative action, right?
Mm-hmm.
We need to integrate, put Black people inside these workforces or workplaces, put them in different positions, and people start saying, oh, no. If he ain't qualified, he shouldn't be there. If he ain't this, that. And I'm like, that make a lot of sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, because someone saw an issue, and they said, no, we want to try to make it right to where these people do get these types of jobs. They set that in place.
Yeah.
Say a person walks up, a white person says, hey, I identify as Black. Well, if you identify as Black, let me put you down. We hired our first African American. Yeah. All the work that was just done is now negated because, hey.
It's making fact and opinion not a thing.
Exactly. And that's the thing is because, like, when we talk about facts, it's something you could truly prove. Right. Now everybody keeps going to my truth. Like, baby. I mean, understand there is a fact, meaning I could prove there is evidence of this.
Right. And I'll be like, you can keep your fact and your beliefs as long as they don't outwardly affect me in a way where I can't get what I'm trying to get. Like, hey, yeah, you, Caitlin, you're a woman, you made Woman of the Year, great. Now, if you try to come up and tell me, well, because there was a girl it was this interview that Genuine was doing way back in the day. There was this girl who was really a guy, but it was a girl who said, so you wouldn't date me? Like, you wouldn't give me a kiss? And then it's like she started trying to manhandle Genuine on camera. Yeah. Like, you gonna kiss me? And he like, no, I don't do that. Like, that ain't. But I'm a woman. So you saying you don't agree that I'm a woman? No, nigga. Right. Like, you can't force your fact on my fact.
Right.
Like, no, look.
You can't. It's not even mine. You can't force your fact on the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Very true.
This is
like right now. We could say this table is Black. Right. You know the table is Black. Right. Now you come over here and tell me no, it's blue. If you say it's not blue, it's the issue. So
we don't see this.
Everybody here sees the table. See this table? Right. Oh no. Well, my truth is this table is blue.
And that's why I be like, hey, your truth is the table is blue. Well, continue believing that table is blue. But if anyone should ask you, hey, I heard B Hunt was selling a table. What color is it? I need you to tell them my fact, like the actual fact. Tell them it's Black. Yeah, tell them that it's Black because that's the table I'm selling. Okay. Or at least they need to have a very well understanding of you to know that when you say blue, it's everybody else Black.
Yeah.
I just feel like
you don't want to sound bad.
the fact. Like you learned fact and opinion when you grew up.
Right.
Yeah.
And you checked the box when you grew up. And
Yeah.
it was only 2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we know.
That's what I know.
So if the objective is to make a new, not present new knowledge of this new
I don't know.
pronoun, way of living, identity, then let's be truthful about it. Let's put MFT.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to just like force yourself
Right.
and say fuck women. We're women too.
Yeah, and just
That's
and
just
then go out and beat all my records. Go beat all my records.
Because
Yeah,
I be thinking about stuff on the level of heaven and hell like every day. Like, okay, in real life, everything boils down to heaven and hell. Okay? So I'm not saying because you're transgender, you going straight to hell. I'm not. But I know if I treat you unkind or try to even show hatred towards you because you are trying to bombard your way in here, then I'm gonna really fuck up my chances of going to heaven.
Yeah.
So, like you said, your daddy taught you, son, choose your battles. Let it be and move on.
Yep.
So this is one of them for me. I'm not about to be outside arguing with no trans bitch or nigga or whatever they are. Baby, I'm going to let you be, okay? I'm not going to be proving to you that what I got is more biologically pure than what you got.
That's my job.
It's not my job. So if your job and your objective is to be included, then create your own. In my opinion, create your own, but don't bombard the facts.
I'll 100% agree. Like it's a touchy subject because nobody wants to come off as if they have an issue with someone. It just gets to the point where you're like, fact, opinion, and then other.
Yeah.
It's like, hold up.
It puts everybody in this frustrated spot because it's like if I say something that you deem disrespectful, first of all, I'm canceled, and then 2, I'm insensitive, and then 3, like it's a whole bunch of negative backlash. And I don't buy into this construct that you built in your head that you believe is. This
right.
is.
That is now accepted.
Right.
I'm glad that it's accepted. I'm glad you can be yourself. I'm glad you can be free. I'm glad you can be safe. But don't ever be disrespectful. And always remember the facts.
Yes. Like, and if somebody does feel they can speak on it, I don't mind you coming on the show. Speak what it is. Let us know how we're wrong, what things you agree, disagree on. Right. But you must come with actual statements. You can't say, that's like me saying, I'm the finest dude in the world. And if you don't think I'm fine, I got an issue with you. What? I like dark-skinned dudes. I'm the finest dude in the world. And if you don't like
I'll be like, well, then I must meet the dark skin qualification then.
Right.
And I'm like, it gets weird.
Because if I go and it's somewhere being like, I'm an Asian woman.
Yeah, they're gonna
am I truly gonna be like accepted?
It's a woman right now. She had multiple little surgeries, melanin injections and tattoos and all that. And she's about to get hurt. Hey, I am a black woman now. So I just be like, at a certain point, I just feel like it's an assault, and it's specifically geared to women because it's beneficial as my credit score might be. I don't want to be white, fam. I just don't. I'm not saying it is wrong to be white. I just personally don't want to do that. It's a lot of pride and all that I got, a lot of lineage that I got, a lot of understanding of where I am and where my people are in society. And I feel like I'm on this side. I need to do my absolute best to try to push us forward and help us out. So I don't need these team switches.
Maybe it's design. Maybe it's design. Women, in our whole history, we haven't ever been favored for making history.
But that's the thing is, women have always been a
by
part of it.
design.
Like I tell
They have legislation for this. So maybe it's like, you know what? This is the new way of women's prohibition.
Like,
without,
without
really putting it in your face like that.
We don't want to throw it at you. Like, we don't want to just, we gonna make it where we gave you something to take it away. Like I said, like they said, if you disagree with the viewpoints that are presented to you right now, just understand that it comes from a place of frustration and misunderstanding. And also, like I said, all the filters that my parents provided me with going through my life, they didn't provide me with a filter that would force me to accept another person's filter without my consent, okay? Personally, I feel like everybody should just go by your name. If I gotta call you something that's different than what I physically see or what I know is my fact, which is typically the fact. Yeah. Then what's your name? Okay, so you went from Bob to Bob Gina. Okay, Bob Gina. Because that's at that point, you're inside my fact line. Like, hey, we on my fact side. You don't go by Bob, you go by Bob Gina. I call you Bob Gina. We satisfy both parties. We met a compromise.
And I agree
Bob
with that.
Gina, I recognize you as Bob Gina. You don't have to go into the whole his, her thing, because in your world it's kind of grayish, and my world is black and white. So
that is so true, because in order for you to be identified, not really in order, but in order for you to recognize something, you have to have an identification of your own.
Right.
You're not always going to meet somebody and they're going to say, hi, I'm a woman and my name is Angela. In your predestined mind, your prior knowledge is going to tell you, this is a woman. I smell her perfume. Maybe I see some flowing hair, boobs, whatever it is that those characteristics and traits that you were taught, the facts about what a boy and a girl is, like it's just so hard, like how we have to, both parties, the people who are like proving that I am they and them and she and he and her and the people who are proving the fact, like we both work so hard just to be like, belong. That's just really what it is.
Yeah.
Mm.
I even use this brand called Honey Pot. And it's like a black-owned menstrual cycle.
I've heard of it. Well, because my wife is
product. But on there, it's like trademark. Their slogan is design made for humans with vaginas by humans with vaginas. Because pads and Kotex and tampon and always, those are not designed to help us. They designed to keep us tired. They designed to make us lose a lot of blood, more than we probably really need to remove.
Right.
They're designed to just like drain your body. Like outside of you being tired naturally because you're already losing so much blood, they're just designed to make you feel like, oh, my period is such a, droughtful time of life.
Right.
But ever since I used Honey Pot, I'm more excited about my period. Like, it's not so draining. I don't feel that pull. And I don't really get cramps ever, but a lot of my friends who have tried it, and even a friend who told me to try it, they have had cramps using all those products I told you about. And now that they use Honey Pot, it's like better for them. Like they don't cramp.
Well, that's
Or they don't
always
cramp
good.
as much. My mom,
I mean,
yeah, honey pot. It's at Target or online. Some Walmarts have it too. They have a herbal brand and like a non-herbal. So the herbal, you'll be like, you know how you said yoni and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
They might be like, oh, what's that going on? But the non-herbal usually be normal. Both work well for me. So I'm just saying that to say the proving is just so much out there. Just be. I'm gonna just leave y'all alone. Just
Let me make it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me be, and you be.
I think everybody should make it. Hey,
If you leave me be, I'm gonna leave you be. That's how I feel.
Yeah, me too.
You believe that? That's cool. You understand that? When you talk to me, don't try to force that
Right.
extra
We don't
stuff
want no
on me.
bullies. Remember no bullying?
Yeah, I just want to go through life and tell you, all right, Bob Gina, chill out.
Right.
Yeah.
If it's your name, you can't be ashamed.
Yeah.
Bob Gina, that's your name. That's who you are. We ain't gonna get into the particulars because I know that's a sore spot. I don't want to touch that. Just want to talk about what's your name. All right, I'm gonna stick with that. We're gonna rock. 19-year-old marries a 76-year-old billionaire, claims it was love at first sight. So this 19-year-old was like this TikTok sensation, right? And he marries this 76-year-old woman who's a billionaire. Granted, if there was a guy, if Hugh Hefner married himself a 19-year-old woman, we have a lot of issues with that. But some people.
But didn't he marry a lady?
Yeah, he married somebody. Yeah, he's a different type of guy. Okay. So I just feel like, we understand what the 19-year-old girl wants. She wants the fame and notoriety of being with, Hugh Hefner. If that was the case, and also, hey, he's a billionaire. It kind of works out. Now we flip the script. So it's a 19-year-old boy. Like I said, he found a 76-year-old lady. He's deeply in love. What he says it was love at first sight. I just want to know: did he see her bank account first, or did he see her?
First of all, we already know. He saw the bank account. Let's not tell this lie like you don't know. It's like, come on. I ain't never looked up at somebody's grandma and been like, ooh, man. What now? Oh, Granny got money? Oh, that's like Oprah right now. Nobody want Oprah because Oprah just fine. But as much money as Oprah got,
I'm sure somebody want Oprah.
Nobody want Oprah like that. Stedman still in the guest house.
It's what it is. He want her.
All I'm saying is the fact that 19-year-old is trying to marry a 76-year-old, whether you a man or a woman. You saw the bank account. You're not going to sit here and tell me, man, oh my God, we just had so much. What you have in common? Explain one thing. You haven't went through nothing. She don't know nothing about what you going through, and you definitely don't know unless you took a history lesson.
Look, I'm sure she cooked some bomb cookies, and he like cookies.
Bruh, so cookies made you date a girl?
Look, I'm saying,
has cookies ever made you date a girl before?
The way that she knit them sweaters, though. You know what I'm saying?
First of all, you got your mama who knit you a sweater. She older than your mama.
It's the way she knit them sweaters, fam.
She probably older than your grandma. What we talking about here? 76?
Look, I'm just saying. Who's to say this ain't he probably, you don't know what his past was like.
What if he was one of them kids whose parents birthed him when they was like 70, 60, like random birth?
And then they passed away, and now he just feel hurt, and this is his way to get back.
So now you're going to the Freudian complex. Oh, your parents. Oh,
yeah.
You want to sleep with your mama. Like, if your mama
said it. Look, I'm just saying what's happening. I'm trying to find
to the man. Like, I'm just giving you reality. You give me the more intellectual version. I'm giving you reality.
No,
19 years old, you're not going to. Yes, exactly.
And she was giving him some money.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm willing to bet money right now. I'm willing to bet my whole paycheck right now. She done gave that man some money.
Look, I'm just saying.
Okay, hold on. Real quick before you start. Do you think she done gave him some money?
I know she gave him some money.
Okay then.
First of all, for me to know that you're a billionaire, you obviously, I saw you live. Okay,
Mhm.
let's just throw that out there. I know that he knows her banking situation. What I'm saying is, at 19, he's saying average life expectancy 75.
Yeah.
She already at 76. I'm the husband. He like, I just gotta do this. Like, I feel like he viewed that
At
as an
best,
investment.
she got what? 20 years at best.
Yeah.
At best.
She
Like
Betty White. She get a Betty White.
Yeah. It's like maybe 20 years.
So he'll be 39.
And a billionaire.
And men don't hit their strides at 35. I'm a billionaire at 40 now because I made a small, and I'm saying at a certain point, he ain't gotta actually do the deed no more. Because your body gets it before you can't.
First of all, this show reminds me of, you remember the Family Guy episode where Peter going down on Lois's mom? Yeah, if you haven't watched Family Guy, there's this episode where Lois gets Peter to hypnotize, and so every time the show Extra comes on or he hears Extra, he just automatically goes down on Lois. So Lois's mother is like very old. She's like in her late 60s, early 70s. She's upstairs and she's watching Extra, and Peter goes upstairs to give her some food. Then all of a sudden you hear Extra, Extra. So Lois runs upstairs, and Peter and Lois and the mother's just so happy because I guess she got hugs, and the whole ride home, they ain't looking at each other or nothing. They're just quiet. Then once they get home, he throws up in the bag.
What I'm saying, look. That's a comedy situation. I don't know what 76-year-old box look like. Okay, I don't know. But I'm just saying, as a 19-year-old promised to be a billionaire at max 40.
So would you do it?
If I was 19, fresh out of school, and she was like, I like you, I'm a billionaire, I'd be like, Mama, this is my girl.
Your mama gonna be pissed. And you know for a fact your mama gonna be pissed.
My mama gonna be mad.
Because my mama told me I couldn't date nobody around her age, even though some of her friends back in the day liked me.
Look, I'm gonna tell you like this. My mama gonna be upset till she see the house. My mama gonna be upset till she drive the car. My mama gonna be upset till she notice all the people in our line, at least for this generation, is doing exceptionally well, all because I made a small sacrifice. And it's not like
old sacrifice.
What I'm saying is, and also, ain't like all friend groups are so vastly different. Like, I could be talking to some fee over here and like, ma'am, you don't know her. It's weird.
She's a billionaire. She know everything you're doing.
And she probably accepted all that. She just wanted her young piece to take her on into her, final days, man. Like, look. Because
she just want to have fun.
She just want to have fun.
Girls just want to have fun.
Yeah. Grannies just want to have fun.
Grannies just want to have fun.
Okay.
Yes.
And on that note.
And he's a broke college student probably who is like,
how can I come up?
Perfect. Like, I'm telling you, what? Static to see.
That's a meal ticket, baby. He don't need nothing.
I don't need nothing. What do
you ever notice that our parents didn't marry for money? They were actually married for like love and stability.
And when he get 40, he get married for love too.
And you realize our generation probably like 5 years past behind our generation. Everybody marrying for money. Like you ain't got. There's nothing you have in common, and you're not going to tell. What, you watched the Golden Girls with her at 19?
White though.
No, at 19. At 19, no. Our generation, yes, we watched the Golden Girls because it came on at night all the time. You watch it with
making this about You acting like
He's
they gotta,
19
you
now.
acting like they have to do this large amount of interaction. Bro, after she take her Geritol and you know, get her a bath, she going to sleep at 7 o'clock. 19, I wasn't going to sleep till the next day. So I deal with you for the little 10 hours that you're gonna be up tops. You ain't gonna make it past, especially as a billionaire. It ain't like you're gonna do a crazy amount of work. Come here, hey, make sure you take Monday pills. Okay, yesterday you took Tuesday, you was loopy, take Monday pills. Boom. You know what I'm saying? Deal with that. The chef, hey chef, cook up something. We're gonna watch the Golden Girls of Matlock. We already know. Done deal.
That's what you want, a friend.
I'm done watching Matlock. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna be an everyday, I need to get knocked down situation. So I'll be like, is it one of them days? Is it not one of them days? Boom. She went to sleep. Cool. Let me go ahead and step outside.
At 76, you're in nightgown stage. Like them old nightgowns that came down to your ankle and
hop in the Bentley.
But I heard though, in my sociology class, what class was this? I can't remember exactly which one. I took a few psychology courses too. And my professor practiced like what kind of therapy? She had clients. I can't tell you exactly.
Are you talking about the one where there were like older people in their older age are starting to really wild out and stuff and catch STDs and all that stuff?
Well, that's nursing home.
Oh my God. See what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that's the psychology of sexual behavior.
I don't know. We did have a sexual behavior course. I did take
it.
But I learned that men, you know, y'all's peak.
Yeah.
To go be bunnies and like all the time. It's like during the teens and the 20s, early 30s. Our peak, women, it's like 35 to about 70.
You realize that as just the trick that God played on us? It's like, hey, when I start, when mine's is revving up, you ain't down. But then when you really down, I'm going down.
What she was saying is, I recognize the trick, okay? And if she a billionaire, you know she spent majority of her younger years, if she ain't inherited from a man that she had prior. She spent majority of her years going to school, doing this, doing that, not really spending time with the men that she really wanted. She's like, I finally got that. And you mean to tell me I'm finna go get with this 76-year-old who can't get up? No. Let me get, with the little time I got left, let me jump over here on this 19-year-old. And, you know, boom, we gonna knock out.
It was easy for him to say love at first sight.
Right. Because
you saw the side ad money.
Ain't no.
Like, oh, word?
Bro.
How many zeros is that?
Ain't no.
A billion?
He gonna be married, and when she's done, he ain't gonna have no kids. He gonna be, like you said, at max 40. I don't think he gonna make it like 25.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? 25, bank, no kids, most likely a mansion, advance, his life gonna be set up. Because he decided, look, while I'm 19, let me just go. It just got a little gray hair on it. That's it. Just a little gray. Wow. It ain't gonna kill me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm straight with that. I'll make it work. Wow.
Oh my God.
And on that note, we come to the end of the podcast.
On it, man.
Yeah.
Like he said, this is the end of the podcast. Anything else anybody would like to say before we close out?
Thank you for all the listeners and viewers.
Like, subscribe, share. Something, number 4, DA people. We're everywhere you can find us. Check us out, like us, share with a friend. If you want to come on the show, if you have something to say, feel free. Come on, let's see what you got.
That being said, also, like I said, YouTube, if you type something number 4 people, boom, the podcast at the end, reduce that search. Outside of that, it's another episode.
Be easy.
Thank you.